what we've really come to understand is it's the hand action that actually drives.
If you have good hands, you know what to do with your hands. So much works back into the body, and the golfer they're empowered when they know how to use their hands properly. Gentlemen?
Yeah, look, basically, most golfers, when they get started, that they really getting into a good backswing position is number one. So someone that is coming over the top of the golf ball and going this chronic outside-in slice, which it has its beginning when they get off on the wrong, they get too much inside on the backswing. And then as they swing up, the arm's got nowhere to go but to go outside. So we find that if you start the club head last, it allows the club shaft to stay on the correct path going back. If you go club head first, the tendency is when you get inside here, now you're in here, you got two ways to go. Usually if you go higher up, your arms bounce off your body. And the way your arm is designed, if you just swing it up and down, it stays there. But if you come across your body too much, as it gets higher, just to protect your shoulder, it'll go this way. So the golfers that find that they've got a really chronic outside-in slice, the first thing is to make sure you got the right grip and you got the concept that you're going to allow the club face to release. That's number one. There's no good going on the right path with the wrong grip, or the idea that the club's got to stay down the line, because that'll make the ball, as Martin said, they'll go off to the right. So basically, the backswing, if you can start having the club head stay on this side, you know, a Matthew Wolf or a Jim Furyk, this is a bit extreme, but they definitely are not going to come over the top. Anyone that goes out that way will have a loop this way. Most people that slice are starting out of sequence. They start club head first or arms first. And as soon as you do that, any turn brings you in. And any further up, you're doomed to bounce off of that. So get the pass right. You really need handle first, club head last. And then a practice drill, as you said, Martin, this one here, just train the hands to go down here. What we like to say is the club head's there. And if my right arm is here, my club head's going down under the right arm. It's not going over it. So that's how I think we came up with down under golf. So it came down under there. And when you put that in the correct relationship, the club shaft is moving in line with that lead arm. It's not moving out of line. So, but to get that going down and to stop the over the top, it's really key that you start back with the club head last rather than club head first. And then that promotes the naturalness of the hinging, and then it makes it so much more able to be done to get the A to B line, which we call it down and out. And
you know, to jump on that and add in there the benefit of going handle first, club head last. You know, I had a full day of coaching today on the range in Phoenix, and I'll tell you, it was interesting, the sensation of most golfers want to be, you know, I just joke, I say they're stuck in the mud, their feet are in mud, they don't move. And their first move is this motion around them with their hands kind of pop away from them. The club head comes in, and then all of a sudden they've got that response that you're talking about. And maybe if they've played a really long time, maybe they figured out how to get, you know, have a low point that's dangerously behind the golf ball and flash some hooks, and we'll talk about that later on in this episode. But the point, you know, you're talking about, which I love, is handle first, club head last, because the sense of pressure in your feet. You know, we teach a waggle in the golf school, and I know you're a big fan of the waggle too, and the meaning of educating your hands and waggling. And once somebody gets ready to go and has this sense of pushing into the ground, which runs everything up the system, down the arms to the handle first, the club head's the last thing to go. And that motion helps you create this momentum that slings the club up to the top, rather than something that's stuck in the mud and contrived getting up to the top. I'd way rather see a dynamic event pushing into the ground that helps you create momentum, that helps you get into a spot where you can really fire at the golf ball A to B.
Yeah, thanks very much. That's really helping hit home the point of the importance of the start of the swing to help the downswing path. Because if you go in sequence, clubhead-last, you get that natural hinging, and then it's very much easier to have the idea of throwing the club head down at the ball. And so the idea that golf is a two-target game. While the ball, you want to go towards the flag, you want the club head to go down towards the ball. And that direction of hit is across the target line. As it gets down to the bottom and you run out of right arm, the body turn will bring you up and around. So you never have to worry about not going out to the right like that, but you're going down and out into the golf ball. And that ideal of compressing or throwing the club head down and burying the golf ball through the earth. Don't try to scoop it up. Try to hit it with a descending blow, and that throw is in that direction. As soon as you throw it down the target line, you go outside in, probably the first couple, if you have a good grip, will start going left. You'll then soon learn to leave the club face open, and that's where you get the guy that's, especially with the driver, you get the big banana ball. Starts left and curves back, finishes in the right-hand trees.
So a quick little drill. When you're outside, an easy way to go A to B, a name stick above your golf ball, stick it in the ground on about a 45-degree angle. I'm in my studio here, so I've got one of my little devices kind of holds aim sticks on mats or whatever. And you can kind of see now from down the line, I've got something that would inspire me not to come over the top. So this is something that when I hit a shot, to go A to B now, is I find that externally, if a student can see where to go, where to go A to B, it helps them go, oh, I understand. Okay, so this is a vertical representation where the ball is. This is a, me uncocking under A to B, allowing my body to rotate as the golf club gets into place. And if I hit one for you, so there's a club that, while that may be intimidating for some early on, it makes perfect sense when you stand and looking over this to say, oh, I see. I don't want to pull the handle and get steep. I want to feel like the club flees away from me a little bit in conjunction with my pivot, and I can hit some nice strong shots. So a simple drill for those people that are slicers. And if you hit this, it may be noisy, it might be mildly embarrassing for a second because people do, but really it's a great little exercise. So from face on, since I'm only showing you one camera angle here, it would kind of look like this. The golf ball would be kind of underneath the elevated part. Now you've got this feeling of going A to B to the golf ball rather than, potentially getting the club vertical, pulled down too steep to hit a fade.
I've got a very good question from Bryce. Did Ben Hogan and Mo Norman start their swings with the handles starting the takeaway?
That's a good question. Well, you can answer Mo Norman. I'll answer the Ben Hogan bit, if that's okay.
Yeah, please, go ahead with Ben.
Okay, well, at high speed, it's very hard to see. You have to slow the swing down, but basically Ben Hogan, I've got my tennis racket out here now to highlight the club face. Ben Hogan had a very positive waggle. He wrote a lot about the waggle in his book, The 5 Fundamentals, that programs the hands and arms for the swing. See, it's not this way. It comes down under. Now, but when you saw him, he had a little forward press, and his handle went ever so slightly first, and then it hinged. So the guy he made a very fast start, but it was always the handle just a fraction ahead of the club head. It never went club head first with Ben Hogan. And what happens from there is the club will naturally want to hinge. So the more positive you do the handle first, the more the club will load the wrists. The swinging club head will load. And he swung it definitely a little bit of handle first. If you look at some of the stock frame pictures of him, you'll definitely see this way through the swing. It's not exaggerated. As soon as the handle moves forward, or as soon as you push forward, the hips turn, and that takes the handle a little forward. as soon as you push back with the lead hand against the trail hand, the hip turn, shoulder turn takes it away, and then the swinging club. So Ben Hogan definitely used that. I know Mo Norman had a different way, and I'd like really to get the insights from Martin on.
What we've really come to understand is it's the hand action that actually drives.
If you have good hands, you know what to do with your hands. So much works back into the body, and the golfer they're empowered when they know how to use their hands properly. Gentlemen, great to be with you. Peter, it's a pleasure, pal. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks Chris, thanks Martin, and it will be great to be here. Just a little mention there, Martin has probably the #1 golf school in Arizona. There are a lot of golf schools there, but you've been rated #1, so that's nice. Nice to be in your school today. Okay.